Okay, surprise, surprise. I need to do a little bit of testing for next week, and I want to try out a couple little features. So we're going to do a little test race here of the Apex's iRacing League. This is season 24. Drivers out on track in the Mazda MX-5, following around Kent Kruger here, putting in his qualifying laps. So Mazda's kicking off season 24, first week of the season, and they've brought the machinery to Lime Rock Park. So we'll take a quick look at what's going on here in the qualifying. Actually, let's take a quick look at the race conditions out there. We got 45 degree air temp. That's going to lead to, 45 degree track temp, 22 degree air temp. So not overly hot weather-wise out there, but the track fairly warm. 45 degrees Celsius is quite toasty for our drivers. So we'll see how that plays in as we're doing, I believe, a couple of heat races here. I haven't done the Mazda series in a couple of seasons, but I believe, if I remember correctly, they are doing heat sessions. So it could be interesting here to see how that plays out. I'm not sure if there's an invert at all, if it's top 10 or so get inverted for round number 2 or heat number 2, but we'll see as that one plays out here as we're on board with Justin Herbach, currently sitting in second place just behind Brian Lemke, only separated by 1/10. These two drivers here on track, so real tight qualifying up top. They've got another 4 100s back to Sean Teeter in third place. Isaac Sulu currently holding down fourth place, and only another 3/10 back of him. So tight qualifying all up in the top 5. It's just interesting to see if that holds on for the rest of qualifying here as our drivers that shape out. So we've got about 17 drivers in session, only 12 of them on track as it stands so far. Looks like Oz is going to call it quits on his qualifying attempt here. We'll pick up Roman Bykoff in the Coors Light machine. He's going to call it a day on his too as well. Let's go back to the big dog, Kent Kruger, chief admin for the league. You see Kent heading across the line there now. Currently he got himself into 10th place. So Kent will be looking to improve. Mazda his specialty. Kent is one of those guys that drives Mazda at the track in real life, although I believe he picked up a Porsche a couple seasons ago, so not sure if he's still got the Miata kicking around home or not, but we'll see a little later as it shapes out. Donald Mensing with the meme car as usual. He's been driving this paint job for a number of seasons, but if you've ever seen the funeral meme videos online, that's the guys on the side of the car there for Donald Mensing. Donald currently sitting in 12th spot, a couple positions back of Kent Kruger. We'll pick up Spencer Bodway, last season's winner in the Cayman class. Spencer throwing it across the line and into the tire barrier. That's going to wrap up his qualifying. We pick back up with second place here, Justin Herbach, trying to improve, still sitting 800ths back of Brian Lemke. It's real tight between the top two. Up top, you hear him hitting the rev limiter into that corner. Not enough room to pop it into the next gear, but you don't want to lose any kind of pace, so riding the rev limiter for a half second or so. It's like Justin and Donald, the only two drivers on track right now in qualifying. Oh, we're running the weird chicane layout where it's got the extra chicane up on the top of the hill. You don't see that layout too often in the officials. It's kind of ruins the flow of Lime Rock for the most part. In my opinion, it's generally not the layout that I enjoy driving the most around. Actually, to be honest with you, I don't really enjoy driving Lime Rock all that much to start with. It's a track I've never really had much luck in. See if Justin improves his time by. No, unable to improve on his time. Still sitting 8/10 back. I believe he actually completed all of his laps. Just running some extra laps around here to keep getting a feel for the track and the conditions. So this season we'll be broadcasting the Sunday races again, where this season it will feature the Ferrari Challenge cars. So new car for the service this season. iRacing's just brought in that car last week, and they'll be following the official iRacing schedule. And I do not believe what track is up first off the top of my head. Actually, I think it could be Spa if I remember correctly, but I believe if I glanced at the track list earlier on, and I believe it looked like a fairly stout set of tracks for the league. I believe we have the new track as well, the Bend new Australian road course, which is I think it's got like 8 or 9 different layouts on it. Possible it's going to like the Australian Nürburgring type setup. So interesting to see how our drivers adapt to learning that new track as the season progresses and we get to that one. And Wesley Cottonor is going to come out, try his hand at half a lap here, but he's unfortunately for him late to the party. He's not going to have time to put in a qualifying lap. He's going to have to start at the back, but get himself a little familiar with the track conditions out there right now. So we'll see where he shapes up. But right now, looks like he'll be starting somewhere around 17th, 16th, 17th, like that, depending if the rest of the drivers who haven't come out to put in a lap time, mind you, if they show up to grid. Speaking of the grid, let's take a look. There we go. Brian Lemke sitting on pole. He'll have Justin Herbach to his outside. Behind them, Sean Teeter and Roman Bykoff going to make up row 2. Ozek Sulu in 5th. Spencer Bodway in 6th. Ryan Harrison 7th. And Dan Elgin in 8th. Craig Thompson and Kent Kruger rounding out the top 10. Then we have Mark Valente and Donald Mensing. Behind them, Joshua Soto, Wesley Cottonor, Zach Peterson, Tony Habich, and Bob DeGood. Mr. Bob DeGood going to make up P17. So we'll see if all of our drivers hit the track. Take a quick look at our conditions here while we're waiting for all of our drivers to come out and join the grid. Air temp still holding steady at 22 degrees. Track temp up a couple degrees at 44 degrees. So getting a little more toasty out there as our drivers set the grid up. Looks like everybody but Joshua Soto and Bob DeGood right now have gridded up. So we'll wait and see if those last 2 cars grid. Oh, looks like they are not going to join us. There we go. Pack heading away behind the pace car, Porsche Pace Machinery. Brian Lemke going to lead the way in his traditional flat black paint theme. Again, he'll have Herbach to his outside. This is a go on green league, so our drivers will have to wait for the green flag. They cannot go once the pace car pops in. They need to wait for that green flag to signal that it's time to race. See Barney holding the green flag there, just waiting to drop it. Waiting patiently waiting, and there we go, the drivers are off. And down into turn 1 they go. We'll see if there's any kind of calamity here heading into turn 1. Oh, looks like Donald Benson gets turned around in the back. He is off track, unfortunately for him. Looks like Bob DeGood started in the pits. Nope, he's not out there. So we'll pick up what happened to Mensing in a couple moments here. Brian Lemke going to hold on to top spot. He's been able to hold off any charge from Justin Herbach. Sean Teeter in behind them. Roman Bykoff in 4th place. Up and through up the hill. The car's going to catch a little bit of air up and over that hill. Oh, we see. Ooh, that's Ozek Sulu in the back. Spencer Bodway involved too as well. Calamity. Oh no, that's not what we'd like to see early on. A couple of drivers heading back on track. Let's take a quick look, see if we can catch what happened there on the top screen. So it looks like Exulu, the DeWalt car on the inside, catches a little bit of curve. She's going to lose the back end. Got a tiny little touch from Bodway, and then it all went off from there. A couple cars get caught up in that, but not much you can do when it comes down to that situation there. But unfortunately for Spencer Bodway, he's going to come in and use his quick repair, but we'll pick back up with Kent Kruger, the big dog. He's going to benefit from that. Up 3 spots into P7 now. As I mentioned, Kent always fond of the Mazda MX-5, so no surprise we see him working his way up through the field, but there's been a change for the lead. So it looks like Justin Herbach's managed to get around Brian Lemke to take over top spot while we were away watching the incident that carried on. So see if we can pick up what happened there between those two. It's up on the top screen. We'll see how Herbach got through. Looks like a run down the front straight into turn 1. Lemke on the outside, Herbach on the inside. Herbach can have the preferred line. Lemke's going to have to back out of it there and fall back into second place. Sean Teeter was looking to make a move there too as well, but back up top they go. So we pick back up with our leaders. Herbach's going to go wide onto the grass. It's going to allow Lemke to get through. Teeter possibly too as well. That's going to move Herbach into third place. So nobody out front is felt safe so far. Our drivers moving and shaking, shifting around. Not really much to go on there. A lot of calamity. We got a battle shaping up just behind them. Dan Elgin leading the way in this one. He's got Roman Bykoff and Ryan Harris in behind him. Harris, I believe, a new name to the league this season, or possibly just haven't picked him up in the MX-5s, but see him trying to chase down the Coors Lightning machine up ahead of Roman Bykoff and Dan Elgin. A little bit of a gap between them of the top three. We'll see if they can work together and start to close down that pack as Dan Elgin leading the way. Looks like they're picking up Kent Kruger and Craig Thompson in behind too as well, joining that pack. It's going to make it a 5-car chase pack to try and chase down the leaders. See a little bit of serpentine action on the front straight. But up top, we got Sean Teeter and Justin Herbach battling for second place. That's going to allow Brian Lemke to open up a 1-second gap over them. Lemke up ahead, just having a look back now from Lemke. Plenty of space there. If they continue to battle, that's exactly what Lemke would want to see in his rearview mirror. The more they battle, the more he can pull away. So this is a 20-minute race. I believe they might be doing 2 20-minute heats. I should look into that. I should also mention that this season brought to you again by Apex Sim Racing. Apex Sim Racing on board, sponsoring the league again for another season. So we welcome them staying on board and supporting the league. You always like to see great sponsorship holding up the league. They can put on some fun racing 3 days a week. I believe possibly even 4 days a week. I believe they're doing like a kind of fun enduro season enduro session this season too as well. You see Teeter and Herbach still battling it out for second place. While they battle it out, you see in the small view down below, that's Dan Elgin leading the way over the Roman Bykoff and the Coors Lightning machine. That's our battle for 4th and 5th. So a couple battles heading out on track here right now. Looks like Elgin right now able to hold off the charge of Bykoff. Same with Teeter, although Herbach trying to find a way around Teeter any way he can. While they battle, that's allowed Brian Lemke to open up almost 2 seconds over second place. Obviously, Teeter get a little loose out of that chicane. That's going to cost him some time. It's exactly what Herbach was looking for. Is he going to move around to the outside? Although Teeter able to hold that inside line, he's carrying a little more pace through that corner. Normally, you'd be able to get on the throttle a little quicker on the outside line, but unfortunately for Herbach, it's a little slippery through that last chicane or last corner. As we see Dan Elgin trying to move to the inside now. Herbach going to lose 1 spot, possibly 2 spots, as Roman Bykoff trying to move to the inside too as well. Bykoff going to drift out wide. Herbach into the grass, but is he going to hold off the charge from Bykoff now? But if Bykoff can stay side by side, he'd have the preferred line in the next corner. But Bykoff goes a little wide. He's going to fall back. Now he's going to deal with Ryan Harris. Harris trying to take away that position. Yeah, battles all throughout the top 5 except for the lead. I guess Lemke now loving to see what he's seen in his rearview mirror. 3 seconds now over he and Sean Teeter in second place, but nothing is firm and final in second place. Teeter feeling a ton of pressure now from Dan Elgin. Elgin going door to door with Herbach. We've seen Herbach try this move before and fell back and lost the spot. Now Bykoff onto the inside. And I think Justin Herbach's going to have to abandon that move through the outside of the final corner 2 laps in a row. It's cost him a couple spots. We'll see if it's able to work out for him. But right now, we got Elgin and Bykoff battling down below. And we've got Teeter and Elgin up ahead. Sorry, that's Bykoff and Harris battling on the bottom side. And we got Teeter and Elgin battling up ahead. So tight battles all around this one, all throughout the track. We've got a number of battles shaping out. But Kent Kruger kind of falling off the back of this pack now. We saw him closing up on it and bringing Craig Thompson with him, but as that battling ensued, they've fallen a little farther back off the pack. We'll see if they're able to close back in, or if they're just going to continue to fall off the back. But the way they're battling up front here, anything could happen. We could see Kent Kruger and Craig Thompson make their way up into a podium position here if these 5 cars up ahead continue battling the way they are. We see Sean Teeter getting a push from Dan Elgin down the front straight. Roman Bykoff trying to get in there too as well. Elgin going to try and make a move to the inside. Teeter going to have to try and defend around the outside. Elgin has the preferred line. Bykoff trying to stick his nose up in there too as well. Not able to make the move. Elgin fighting back on the inside. Sorry, Teeter fighting back on the inside. Bykoff will have the inside line now. It's going to move Teeter back. A touch a little bit, pushes Teeter out wide. Bykoff has to back out of it. That's going to allow Sean Teeter to maintain third spot. Ryan Harris now trying to take advantage of Bykoff having to back out as we go on board here with Harris. See what he sees up ahead as they hit into the final chicane. I don't know if you call this a chicane or a keyhole. It's kind of just an odd shaped corner altogether. See in behind Harris, Herbach falling back 4 positions from where he started. Definitely not the race he was envisioning when he qualified up on the front row early on. Looks like the squabble seems to be for third place now as Dan Elgin's been able to open up a half second over Sean Teeter. Teeter now trying to hold off the charge of Roman Bykoff. Oh no, looks like something happened to Tony Habib. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, off into the grass for him. He's going to have to get sorted up and turn around back on track. Unfortunate for him. So he gets it turned around. There comes the leader, Brian Lemke. Lemke has to go around to avoid him. So it's unfortunate for Tony Habib, but he's going to get it turned around back on track. But that battle's still going on as this pack now is caught back up to Dan Elgin, who's up 6 spots from where he qualified. Strong run by Dan Elgin right now. See if these 3-4 cars in behind Elgin now can work together to chase him down. Looks like they just want to battle. They're not really worried about trying to chase down Elgin up ahead as Bykoff looks to the inside of Teeter. Harris trying to follow him through. Unable to make the move. Bykoff's going to get around Teeter, but Harris has to stay in 5th place. Check in on our leader, Brian Lemke, on a Tuesday night drive now. Up at the front of the sharp end of this field, 5.2 seconds now over Dan Elgin in 2nd place. Lemke just has it on cruise control. Dan Elgin trying to do the same. He's opened up 1.6 seconds now over Sean Teeter as Teeter's had to defend off that pack in behind now. Teeter would love to do what Elgin's done and break away from the pack, but first he's going to have to lose Ryan Harris and Justin Herbach as something might have happened to Roman Bykoff. So we lost Bykoff and Kent Kruger. We'll see if we can pick up what happened to, let's see, Kent Kruger here first. As we got Kruger up on the top screen. Oh, looks like Bykoff just got possibly a little nudge there. Kruger had to avoid him. Lost a little bit of time off track, but let's see if we can see what happened here to Roman Bykoff. As he was cruising along, I'm not sure if he got some help there from Sean Teeter or what. It's a little inconclusive on that look, but back on track we go. Sean Teeter now having to fend off Ryan Harris and Justin Herbach back in that battle. He was down 5 spots at one point in time. Now he's only -3. Got himself up into 5th place, trying to follow Ryan Harris up to the back of Sean Teeter. I think if these 3 cars were to work together, they could probably chase down Dan Elgin up ahead. But it looks like they just refuse to work together here. Constantly trying to take away a position of the car ahead as you see Herbach looking to the inside of Harris. Harris going to have the preferred line through the next corner. Herbach going to have to fall back. In behind them, we got a battle now between Kent Kruger and Craig Thompson. We saw Kruger went off track, had to avoid the sliding or spinning Roman Bykoff. So he's trying to recover, trying to get back ahead of Craig Thompson where he was. Craig Thompson trying to do the best he can to hold him off and not allow that to happen. As you see down below, Sean Teeter starting to close back in on Dan Algen as Ryan Harris and Justin Herbach work together, trying to, sorry, I'm not sure if it's Herbach or Herbacek. We'll go with Herbacek if it's saying Herbach, so we'll go back with Herbacek. But Kent Kruger unable to find a way around Craig Thompson up ahead. We'll see if he's able to eventually find a way through there, but Craig doing well to hold him off. Back up to second place, Dan Elgin has been caught. Sean Teeter is there in the draft now. Herbacek and Harris not too far behind. Although Harris is falling back a little bit once Herbacek got by. He's fallen about 1 second or so off the back of Justin Herbacek. So we'll see if potentially if Craig Thompson and Kent Kruger can catch up to Ryan Harris, if the three of them can kind of draft together to close that gap up onto P4. So Sean Teeter caught Dan Elgin, but he's been unable to get closer to potentially put a move on him here, as they're about to head across the line to finish up lap 14. Dan Elgin still our biggest mover and shaker this one, up 6 spots into P2. Strong showing for him. Teeters close that gap into turn 1, looking to try and find a way around Dan Elgin up ahead. While they battle, it's allowing Justin Herbacek to close that gap. He's now only 8/10 back of Teeter. 8/10 about the draft range on the Mazdas. Actually, I guess they're probably a little farther, probably about a second on the Mazdas is the draft range. So Justin definitely within draft range, feeling a little bit of that dirty air coming off Sean Teeter and Dan Elgin up ahead. So just over 5 minutes to go in this one. We're going to have a battle down to the end for second place. Check back in on Craig Thompson and Kent Kruger. It looks like Kent Kruger was able to get around Craig Thompson. Let's take a look here at how the big dog Kent Kruger made that pass. So he's drafting Thompson down the front straight, makes the move to the inside into turn 1. Gonna get that done and dusted. Craig Thompson gonna fall back in line. So nice move there by Kent Kruger. It's gonna promote him back up into 6th place, up 4 spots from where he qualified. Some nice strong showing by Kent here early on. You'll see on the bottom there, Sean Teeter and Dan Elgin still battling it out. As we see Teeter trying to look to the inside, make the move on Elgin. Herbacek tries to make the move too as well. Looks like Teeter's going to lose that position. Trying to make the move on Elgin, wasn't able to do it. Herbacek able to get through. He claims back another spot from where he lost early on. Now only down 1 spot from where he qualified. So almost back to where he qualified. He can pip off Dan Elgin. He would be right back to where he qualified and would basically make all of his losses come out in the wash for Justin Herbacek. But Sean Teeter not going to go quietly, trying to look to the outside there. Teeter trying to find a long way around turn 1 and 2. Unable to do it. Herbacek going to hold on to that position for now. So see Kruger got around Thompson, but unable to shake him. Craig Thompson holding tight on the tailpipe of Kent Kruger. Go back up to this battle for 2nd spot. A little bit of separation now between these drivers as they're going to cross the line with about 3 minutes to go. It's going to be possibly 2 to 3 laps, depending when Brian Lemke, our leader, crossed the line. Looks like Lemke's going to cross with more than 3 minutes to go. So that's going to give us another 3 laps to go on this one. Lemke dominating performance so far. 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds up on P2. He was able to get away from that battle early on. The drivers in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th continued to try and battle and shuffle through the pack, and that's exactly what Lemke needed to move ahead and get away from those guys. If they would have just stayed nose to tail for a little bit, they could have reeled him back in, but they decided that they wanted to battle it out instead, and we're happy because we get the content out of it. It's nice battling, but they're going to be thinking what could have been at the end of this one. Dan Elgin's still leading this pack around, although Herbesek and Teeter have closed in the gap a little bit. As they come up for the hill, to see Herbesek getting a little loose. The cars do get a little airborne over that hill. If you're driving some of the real fast machinery at Lime Rock here, you can get all 4 tires up into the air. Sometimes whenever you land, it doesn't work out all that well for you, but and across to the line they go. A little weaving on the front straight by Dan Elgin. As we've got 2 minutes to go, it should be about 2 laps to go in this one. Getting down to the nitty gritty for our drivers. As we got Wesley Cottonor trying to chase down Roman Bykoff. That's a battle for 8th place. We saw Bykoff having a little spin early on. He's had to collect himself back up. So far, so good for him. But feeling some pressure from Cottonor. Cottonor up 5 spots. He's one of the drivers that did not qualify. Started at the back of the pack. So nice moves by him so far. See if he's able to find a way around Roman Bykoff. But we'll pick back up with that battle for the lead. It looks like Dan Elgin had a little bit of a connection there issue for an instant. Blinked out quickly, but he's still going to hold on to 2nd place as they're heading across the line. See if Barney's got the white flag out. He does not. So 2 to go in this battle. We'll see if Dan Elgin is able to hold off the charge of Herbesek and Teeter for another lap. Looks like Elgin getting a better exit out of that corner. They've got the lap car up ahead of, I believe that is Tony Habish or Mark Valente. We'll see if that plays a role potentially. It's Tony Habish up ahead, so take a look back from his tailpipe as you can see the leaders coming up and over the hill. Into the chicane for the final time. Oh, looks like Teeter almost got into the back corner of Herbesek. Then drifted a little wide out of the corner. Sean Teeter throwing caution in the wind right now. Trying to find every last ounce of speed he can to find a way around Justin Herbesek. And they're heading to the line. There it is. White flag out this time by. Into turn 1. They're going to go for the final time. They fan out 3 wide. Teeter trying to go wide, carry as much space through again. Habish is going to go off track to get out of the way. Elgin doing the best he can to hold on to that position. On board here with Herbesek looking up ahead at Dan Elgin just up the track. Oh, you hear the car just kind of getting a little off the ground there into the air here, kind of hit the rev limiter. 1 more corner to go. We'll see if Dan Elgin is able to hold on to P2. Their leader Brian Lemke across the line. He's going to take this one. And now we come to the line. It's going to be a battle here to the line. They fan out 3 wide. Looks like Dan Elgin's going to hold on to it. He's going to hold off the charge of Justin Herbesek. And Sean Teeter, Kent Kruger are going to hold off Craig Thompson, Wesley Cottonor, and Roman Bykoff. Looks like Cottonor was able to get around Bykoff. So it happened on the last lap potentially. Let's see here. As they head into turn 1, the final lap. Oh, Cottonor trying to get late on the brakes. Bykoff going to the outside. Looks like Bykoff held on to it for there, but eventually Cottonor would get around him. So well done by all of our drivers. Let's take a look at the results in this one. Oh, we're still waiting for a couple of drivers actually to finish up. Looks like Donald Mensing still out on track. There we go. Donald was the last one across the line. Let's take a look at our results, how that one shaped out. As we saw, Lemke brought it home on the top spot, 9.5 seconds over 2nd place, Dan Elgin. Dan was able to hold off Justin Herbesek, Sean Teeter in 4th, Ryan Harris in 5th place. Kent Kruger in 6th. Craig Thompson brings it home 7th. Wesley Cottonor in 8th. Roman Bykoff in 9th. Donald Mensing in 10th. And then a bit of a used car parking lot for Spencer Bodway, Ozek Sulu, Tony Abish, Mark Valente, Zach Peterson, Josh Soto, and Mr. Bob DeGood. Actually, I don't believe any of those 3 drivers made it to the grid. Actually, I think Zach Peterson might have been involved in the incident early on. So that said, looks like we've got a few moments here in between the 2 sessions. See if we got a see if we got a timer going here. 10-minute warm-up. Okay, well, looks like nobody is on track, so we'll just take a quick little break here for a drink. Okay, we're back. You can see on the clock about a minute and a half left to go in qualifying. See how our drivers fare. Not sure what the resort is here as far as starting positions. We'll have to take a look once the warm-up finishes up, and it gives us their grid for heat number 2. I do believe this is another 20-minute heat race. So we'll see what our drivers learned from that first one they can apply to the second race. See if Brian Lemke is able to go back-to-back after winning race 1. See if this guy here, Mark Valente, can have a better start. Caught up in the fracas on lap 1. Put him a lap down early. He had to go into the pits, use his quick repair, and come back out. So he's looking for a better showing this time. We'll see if the big dog's got anything to offer for the top drivers up ahead. Saw him make some moves here and there. Had to bail into right field there to avoid the spinning Roman Baikov. He'll be hoping there's no repeat of that coming up. Okay, let's take a look at the grid here. So it looks like Sean Teeter going to start on pole for this one. Justin Herbach to his outside. Dan Elgin in third. Brian Lemke in fourth. So it looks like the top 4 inverted here. So fourth place with Sean Teeter. He's going to start on pole. Brian Lemke, our winner, going to start in fourth. Ryan Harrison fifth. Kent Kruger in sixth. Craig Thompson in seventh. Wesley Cottonor in eighth. Roman Baikov going to start ninth, with Donald Mensing in 10th, Spencer Bodway in 11th, Ozik Sulu going to start in 12th place. Behind them we'll have Tony Habish, Mark Valente, Zach Peterson, Josh Soto, and I don't suspect we'll see Bob DeGood onto the grid, as we didn't see him in the first race. See all of our drivers here getting gridded up behind the Porsche pace car machinery. There we go. They were just waiting to see if Joshua Soto is going to join us this time, and he is not either. So there we go. All of our drivers are on grid. Another 15 cars this time. We'll see how Mr. Zach Peterson does here. Starting at the tail end of the pack. Long way to go for him. Into and out of the final corner we go. Again, this is a go on green situation. Our drivers will have to wait for the green lights to pop on, or green flag, so have you. Barney got the green flag in hand. Looks like Barney could use a little bit of a tan there. A little ultra white skin. Off the go, a herd of angry bees into turn 1. Much cleaner this time. No drivers off right now. Sean Teeter going to hold on to top spot. Although he's got Justin Herbacek to his inside. Looks like Herbacek going to take that position away. He'll get himself up in the top spot. Brian Lemke, Heat 1 winner, trying to find his way back up to the front again right now. Up 1 spot from where he qualified. But Wesley Cottonor, that other black car, just in behind Lemke, up 4 positions early on this one. Nice showing by him so far. That's going to move Dan Elgin down 2 spots. He's going to deal with Ryan Harris. Although we see Teeter and Lemke going wide up the hill. Lemke looking to the inside of the preferred line. So he was able to make that move around. He is. Teeter going to drop back into 3rd place. Lemke got himself up 2 spots here early on. You see if he's able to make his way all the way up to the front and go back to back in this one. 1 more car ahead of him to do that. Justin Herbacek. Herbacek's got almost 1 second now, 8/10 over Lemke in 2nd place. So see if Lemke's got some pace here again in Heat 2 to make that gap down to 0. He's kind of stretching out here. It's like Teeter feeling some pressure from Cotnor now. Teeter going to drift a little wide. Cotnor thought about sticking the front nose in there. They gave Teeter a little rub through turn 3. I believe, actually, sorry, that's turn 4. As they head into the hill corner here. Looks like Cotnor going to back out a little bit. See Teeter get up and a little loose coming through there. Cost him a little bit of time. Dan Elgin thought about looking to the inside of Cotnor. Oh, they all go in there. They touch a little bit. That's going to concertine everyone up there. Looks like they're all going to keep going, though. Just a little bumping and banging on that one. Nobody spun out, although Spencer Bodway's front end looking a little worse for the wear as he's battling Ozik Sulu as they come across the line here. Battle up front, Lemke closing in on the back of Herbisek to try and take that position away. See a battle in behind them. That's Dan Elgin and Ryan Harris just below. 4 cars fanning out there. It looks like Elgin potentially slow down, had to bail out of that one. That's going to drop him back into 7th place. We see Lemke up top still trying to find a way to put some pressure on Justin Herbisek as they head into the hill jump. You hear them just hammering the rev limiter up and over the hill there. Spencer Bodway, he's got Ozik Sulu and Donald Mensing in behind him. They're battling it out. Looks like Craig Thompson with a slowdown too as well. Had to bail out of that one. So still a whole lot of moving and shaking. We see Dan Elgin back on track after serving that slowdown. He's fallen all the way back now behind Kent Kruger. Kent in 6th place. He's got Elgin in tow. As they head into turn 1, Dan Elgin giving a push down into turn 1. Gonna try and make the move around the inside, but Ken's going to defend that. They've got Sean Teeter just up ahead. Teeter down 4 spots too as well. Teeter started in 2nd place for this one. Let's check back in, see if Lemke's able to close in on Herbisek. He got to about 3/10, but hasn't been able to close that final little gap here. He's going to have to try and keep applying the pressure on the back of Herbisek, try and force a mistake. Into the final corner they go. Let's see what kind of pace all of our top drivers taking through that final corner. Quickest lap last time by was Wesley Cotnor, 3rd place car, 101.5. Our leader, Herbisek, 101.77, and Lemke, 102.0. So 3rd place car of Cotnor closing in quickly on this battle up ahead. Herbisek going to have 2 flat black Miatas in behind him here shortly. It's going to make it tough to try and distinguish who is who. So we're on board here with Wesley Cotnor. You can see that battle up ahead. He's desperately trying to catch into the final chicane. They go. Looks like Lemke close now on the back of Herbisek. We'll see if he's able to make the move into turn 1. He's got the inside line. Doesn't matter who's going to break a little later here. Herbisek trying to carry more pace around the outside. Lemke trying to cut him off on the inside. It's a tough corner. It's a double apex corner. You got to kind of break in the middle of it. Looks like Herbisek able to hold on. Oh, Cotnor comes in, tags Lemke. It's unfortunate for Lemke. Going to get him spun around. Sean Teeter going to get up to around. Looks like Cotnor slowing down, waiting for Lemke. Gentlemanly move, but the damage is already done. Lemke back on track. He's fallen down to 5th place. So we'll see if we can take a look here at what happened there as Brian Lemke is trying to put a move on Justin Herbisek up ahead. Cotnor saw an opportunity, tried to dive up to the inside, but unfortunately didn't hold tight enough of a line. Tags the back corner of Brian Lemke, and that was all she wrote. Around goes Lemke, and he's going to have to try and fight his way back up now. That's going to move Ryan Harris up into second place, up 3 spots where he started. Sorry. Nice race shaping up for Ryan Harris as we're nearing the 7-minute mark in this 20-minute heat race, the feature race. We got Zach Peterson and Roman Bykov battling it out here for 8th and 9th. And then the bottom screen, we've got Mark Valente trying to chase down Donald Mensing just up ahead. That battle is just behind this one. So Peterson, we didn't see him in race 1, got tangled up, went to the pits, or I believe he showed up later. I'm not sure if he was involved in the first one or not, but either way, finished dead last in the race and moving up nicely so far, up 6 spots from where he started. Trying to chase down Roman Bykov up ahead in the Coors Lightning machine. So you see Bykov right there up ahead trying to run away from Zach Peterson. It's like a better final sector there for Bykov. He was able to open up a couple tenths over Peterson. We see Mark Valente down below and feeling some pressure from Dan Elgin. Not sure what happened to Elgin, but he's fallen all the way back into 12th place. We'll have to see if we pick up what happened to him there and possibly another slowdown. Oh, looks like Kent Kruger and Dan Elgin, something happened to them. Let's take a look at what happened. Heading to the final corner, Kent goes a little wide. It's like Elgin tries to make, oh, Kruger got loose. Oh, wasn't anywhere for Elgin to go, into the wall and back out. Had to wait for everything to get sorted out and turned around there, and that explains exactly what happened there. So back up here, a battle between the two all-black cars of Lemke and Cotner. We saw what happened not too long ago where Cotner got into the back corner of Lemke. Waited for Lemke, let him back around, and then they're continuing to battle on. But unfortunately, they're now battling for 4th place, which was the 2nd place battle early on. But up top, Ryan Harris, Sean Teeter. Teeter's caught Harris and would like to take 2nd place away from. While these battles carry on in behind, that's allowed Justin Herbacek up ahead to open up 3.7 seconds now over 2nd place. Doing basically what we saw Lemke do early on in race 1. Get away from the battles and kind of pull away. Take a look back at this battle here again between Bykov and Peterson. Peterson's closed that gap up. We saw a lap ago that Roman Bykov was able to get a strong 3rd sector and open up a gap over he and Zach Peterson. Into the final chicane, you can see varying lines that drivers are taking through that section. Some of them trying to hold it tight up on the curb, some of them kind of drifting out wide and then bringing it back in. Doesn't really seem to be one line that's working better than the other. But right now, Peterson unable to close that final couple of tenths. Up ahead, we got Spencer Bodway driving the beat-up Miata. He's trying to hold off Ozek Sulu and that DeWalt machinery in behind. The battle between Cotner and Lemke just up ahead of them. There's 2 all-black cars. So we got a number of battles shaping up through this one. So see if Cotner is able to make the pass clean on Lemke this time. Last time he attempted it, Lemke was trying to make a move on Justin Herbacek, and due to that contact between Cotner and Lemke, that allowed Herbacek to open up the gap that he has now. And in 2nd place, the battle is between Harris and Sean Teeter. They're going to head to the line. So we'll see if Teeter gets a good run here to make a move on the inside of Harris. He's going to go for it. Who's going to have the late braking? Looks like Teeter going to get that pass done before they get to turn 1. So Harris backed out early. So see now if Teeter's able to hold off Harris. The 2 of them just play a little leapfrog together and don't really battle. They might be able to chase back in Justin Herbacek. They have time to do it, 9 minutes, which they're running about 1-minute laps here. So that's going to be about 8 to 9 laps. So still plenty of time for them to chase down the leader, Justin Herbacek. It's just going to be a matter now of whether they're willing to work together or not. We saw in Heat 1, most of our drivers weren't really willing to work together. They wanted to try and take that position away from the other. Speaking of work together, looks like Lemke and Cottonor kind of working together here as it is. I haven't really seen any overtake attempts by Cottonor since they've caught back up, which kind of signals that he's going to try and stay behind Lemke and see if they can push forward, kind of similar to what we're seeing here between Bodway and Exilu. And this battle between Peterson and Bykov still going on. Peterson not close enough to make a move into turn one this time by. Peterson's there though. We'll see if he continues to pressure him, but it's like Harris trying to push back now, trying to regain second place away from Sean Teeter. I thought maybe they'd work together trying to push forward, but I think they might be seeing in their mirrors that those two all-black cars of Brian Lemke and Wesley Cottonor are quickly closing that gap. They don't really have as much time as they might have liked to try and hold off the charge between of Lemke and Cottonor. Realizing it's time to go, we need to push. Go on board here with Wesley Cottonor. See Lemke getting a little loose out of turn one. That double apex turn there, and it's easy to drop a tire. There's not a whole lot of curb. You get the tires on the outside of that curb and you catch a little bit of the grass and it will just grab the back end and try and just swing it right around on you. Into the final corner they go. You can see they have sufficiently closed up on the battle up ahead for second place between Teeter and Harris. So we'll see what kind of run they get down the front straight here if they're able to really close that gap. Oh, do we have an incident issue for Lemke? He's coming into the pits. This might be a drive-through for incident points for Brian Lemke. He was our Heat 1 winner. We'll see if he just drives on through. It is drive-through penalty incident limit for Brian Lemke. That's unfortunate to see. We know he didn't get a 4X most likely from that contact for Wesley Cottonor. I believe they have a drive-through at 10X possibly. So that only left him about 6 incident points to play with, but battle on for second place between Teeter and Harris. And then down below we take a look at that battle between what is Roman Bykov, Oz Exilu, and Zach Peterson now. Just up ahead of them is Spencer Bodway. So Peterson and Bykov are able to work together and close in that gap of Bodway and who is that, Oz Exilu up ahead. So that's what I was mentioning earlier. If a couple of these drivers work together and don't really battle, they can close in on the cars ahead, especially if they're battling a little bit. So we have a battle for second place up top, and then we got the battle for sixth place. I guess it's fifth place now. Spencer Bodway has been caught by this back. So Bodway, the all-green car, leading that four-car battle for fifth place. He has Bykov, Exilu, and Peterson in behind. And then up top, we've got Sean Teeter trying to hold off Ryan Harris and Wesley Cottonor. Meanwhile, Herbisek opened up 5 seconds now over this battle. We got Aaron Sunday in chat. Aaron Sunday, why don't we see you out here driving these cars this evening? You're missing week one. It's been some good battles. Speaking of good battles here, we got Ryan Harris trying to hold off the charge of Wesley Cottonor. Meanwhile, trying to chase down Sean Teeter up ahead, but he's falling back a little bit off Teeter into the final 4 minutes now. We're going to have about probably 4 laps. Herbisek's only 5 seconds up ahead, so about 4 laps to go in this one. Bykov now on the tailpipe of Bodway. Bodway's car showing a little bit of damage. Not much aero needed here at Lime Rock, so not going to affect him a whole lot as long as the car's still handling fine. damage. It looks like Bykoff's car featuring a little bit of damage too as well. Let's see if we can go on board here with the Baudouin, have a look back. Yeah, you can see the front end of Bykoff's car sufficiently bashed in. Aaron Sunday, I would just be another chicane in those cars. Didn't make it home in time. Fair enough. Fair enough. On board here with Isaac Sulu, looking up ahead. See if Bone Bykoff gets a run down the front straight and attempts to make a move on Spencer Baudouin up ahead. Baudouin going defensive into turn one. Bykoff going to have to go the long way around if he wants to take that position away. Oh, Xulu drives it in deep into turn one. Bykoff wiggling a little bit. Oh, he's a little extra tap of the brakes there. You're going to drift it out wide. These cars are a handful into turn one. No arrow on them, essentially. It's just a matter of trying to use up any kind of mechanical grip you can, and they don't have much mechanical grip at that. Up and over the hill they go. Baudouin getting a little sketchy. And into the chicane, you see the varying lines from all of our drivers. Bykoff getting a little squirrely out of the final corner there. It's going to affect his run down the front straight. Oh, instant point limit for Bykoff too as well. He's going to have to duck into the pits. That's going to give Baudouin a little bit of breathing space, although not much. Xulu and Zach Peterson are right there. So we're seeing some drivers fall by the wayside here by instant points to this one. Lemke had to suffer a drive through. Oh, Xulu gets loose in the exit of turn one. Peterson has to check up not to get into him. That's going to allow Baudouin a couple tenths of breathing space. Xulu a little loose now, possibly overheating his tires a little bit as he's had to collect that car back up a couple times. Peterson going to look to the inside, up over the hill. Oh, Peterson going to drift out wide. Xulu going to get a better run, but I don't think he's going to have enough of a run to make a move into the chicane. Unable to close up and make that move. Peterson going to hold on to P6. Nice battle there, but let's check back in this battle for second spot. Sean Teeter trying to hold off Wesley Cottonor and Ryan Harris. They're going to fan out 3 wide into turn one. This will be the second to last lap. Teeter going to hold off the charge from Cottonor. Harris there to take advantage if something happens. Oh, Cottonor dives in the inside, a little door bang of Teeter. He's going to take over that spot. Teeter going to try and fight back on the inside. Harris there to take advantage. Looks to the inside of Teeter. Teeter not going to let him through. Going to knock him back a spot. And they've got the lap car Craig Thompson in the mix there too as well. Craig wanting to have nothing to do with that. Into the final chicane they go. This will be the second to last time through there. Heavy onto the brakes. Teeter going to drift out wide. Cottonor a little tighter line, but up ahead, Justin Herbisek, he's going to head to the line to take the white flag. There we go. Barney waving the white flag. Let's check back in this battle for second spot. Cottonor able to open up a couple tenths over Teeter. Teeter trying to fight off the charge of Harris. Harris going to try and go the long way around. Teeter defending on the inside. Both going to have to check up mid-corner here. See a little flick of the brakes as they head through. Oh, and Harris going to go onto the grass. Going to cost him a ton of time there. That's going to give Teeter some breathing room. He can focus ahead on Cottonor and try and take that position away. Battle for the final 2 spots on the podium here between Wesley Cottonor and Sean Teeter. Cottonor holding on to second place. Teeter holding on to third. Harris looking in at the podium right now. He'd love to take that spot away. He's going to need a hell of a run up the hill here. Oh, almost out into the fence. Saves it though. Into the final chicane they go. Cottonor diving out wide. Teeter holding a stronger, tighter line. See what kind of run he gets through the final corner here. Looks like Cottonor with the better run out of the exit out of that final corner. Down the front straight they go. Herbisek going to take this one. The battle to the line. Cottonor going to hold on to it. Let's see if Teeter's able to hold off a charge from Harris. Harris not enough of a run to make a move. Pop back here now between Baudouin, Peterson, and Xulu. Peterson looks to the outside. Baudouin going to hold on to that position. What a race to the line there. So we see Dan Elgin and Brian Lemke. Unfortunate races for them. Bykoff had to serve a drive-through for instant points. Tony Habish up 2 spots into 11th. Donald Mensing down a couple spots, and looks like Mark Valente going to be our final car on the lead lap. So hell of a race there. Hell of a couple finishes, battle spots for the podium positions. Nicely done. You see our podium drivers there. Got themselves all lined up. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. Okay, we'll take a quick look at the results here from the feature race. Justin Herbisek going to take the win. Wesley Cotnor in second place. He holds off Sean Teeter and Ryan Harris. Spencer Beaudoin brings it home in 5th without giving up a position to Zach Peterson, who put on the late charge. He's got to settle for 6th place. Ozzik Sulu in 7th. Dan Elgin in 8th. Brian Lemke in 9th. Roman Bykoff rounding out the top 10. Tony Habish in 11th. Donald Mensing in 12th. And Mark Valente going to finish the final car on the lead lap. Craig Thompson and Kent Kruger going to wind up a lap down. So that'll do it. Got my testing in here. Tried a couple new features. So hopefully they work out and look somewhat decent. But we'll take a quick look here through the instance we had in this one. Looks like Roman Bykoff was the first one to kick it off. So head up into the hill. Oh, that's where everybody kind of got concertined into that last chicane on the first lap. That's going to explain 4 of the incident points that Bykoff had. Kent Kruger and Dan Elgin, when he saw this one, look at it. Kruger going to get loose, exiting out of the chicane here. He sent it into the wall, and unfortunately for Dan Elgin, made the wrong choice heading left, hoping Kent wasn't going to come that way. And unfortunately, he came right out in front of him. So Lemke. This was the battle between he and Herbisek. Cotner going to stick his nose up the inside, trying to make a move, drifts out wide into Lemke. There's 4 incident points for Brian Lemke that turned into a drive-through penalty later on. Donald Mensing is trying to put some pressure on Dan Elgin. Runs out wide. I believe that is in turn 2 and 3. Gathers it back up though. And a bunch of other off tracks here. Looks like Roman Bykoff went off track and on track a bunch of times here. Well, that was after the race was done. So well done by all of our drivers. Final lap battle here between Sean Teeter and Ryan Harris. Harris went off wide. Basically cost him a chance at final step on the podium, but nice run by Ryan. A couple of competitive heats there for him this evening. So that'll do it. Tune in Sunday nights for the what are we doing? Ferrari Challenge on Sunday nights. That'll be the broadcast for this season, and we'll catch you all later. Bye for now.